Good morning, everyone, and happy 4th of July from live here at the Urban Farming Institute in Oakland Park, Florida. And just a few things before we get started here with our Chef at 11. First, my name's Cassie, and if you don't already like us, give us a thumbs up, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram. A couple fun things about the Urban Farming Institute is that we are a community garden. We are herbicide, fungicide, and pesticide free. And a lot of love goes into growing our plants here. And today, we actually have some greens, salad greens for sale, and even some vintage kombucha, which is also locally made. And you can look for tags to them on our Facebook, also on our Instagram as well. And feel free to stop by and see what's going on with the garden. You know, making or planting and growing your own food is a huge important thing for sustainability, especially with everything that's going on right now, and also just eating healthy, nutritious foods that taste good and aren't boring. So today we're going to do something a little bit festive. I have 3 recipes, which I might forget an ingredient, but the point is it's going to look pretty, it's going to taste great, and it's going to be really good for you. And so we're really going to kind of stick with the theme of red, white, and blue, maybe great for a picnic or a barbecue. I know we can't be at the beaches today, but we can definitely be socially distancing in our houses and watching some fireworks. So the first thing I'm going to do is just a simple fruit platter, and then I'm going to make a cashew cream dip to go with it. So, you know, this is a nice alternative sometimes to that sugary vanilla dip that we get. This is still sweet, still good, and when it's dipped in the fruit, it's great. So the first thing I'm going to do is just alternate some red, blue. We don't have white fruit, but we're going to be using the banana, and we're also going to be using some white cherries. So first thing I want to do is just cut my banana into little pieces, bite-sized pieces. You can get toothpicks or however you want to make it so people can eat them together. Just cut the little top off. Now we have that, and just kind of spread it across. My mom is much better at making things look pretty than I am. And we're going to come here with our blueberries. And put some down on the plate like this. Then we've got our white cherries, and we can go back and add some more blueberries. We just want to get the lines down first. Go. And then I'm going to get some strawberries. So berries are super high in antioxidants. It's also summer, so this is a great time to be eating them. I know if you've tuned in before and you've seen us make our nice cream, you can actually add these to your banana ice cream as well. My dad likes to add strawberries and blueberries to his. Be careful when you're cutting so you don't cut a little finger off. So here, so we've just kind of made a nice little fruit platter in nice lines like this. I'm gonna add a few more blueberries to it. And then maybe a little bit more on the end right here. And now I'm gonna make our cashew vanilla dip. So this is really simple. You are going to let the cashews soak overnight in water. If they don't soak overnight, not the end of the world. It's just the way that the directions tell you to do it. It's supposed to give you a creamier blend, but if you don't do it, it'll still work when you're making your cashew cream dip. So literally, all I'm going to take is some cashews. I like to get the ones that are not salted. And my cashews. I'm going to sweeten this with dates. So if you don't want to sweeten it with dates, you can sweeten it with honey, you can sweeten it with sugar, maple syrup, whatever the sweetener of your choice is. Today I'm using dates. I'm using 3 because I like things very sweet. I'm going to do a drop of vanilla. Maybe a little more. And then also I have a lemon somewhere over here. You can do lemon zest as well. If you roll your lemon first, you can squeeze it, get a little bit more juice out of it. Just make sure that you don't get the seeds. Otherwise, you'll have people dipping in and getting some extra crunch to your dip. So just a little bit. And then last but not least, whatever milk, soy milk, milk alternative that you want to use. I'm using soy since we're going to stick with the dairy-free theme of this particular recipe right here. And you might need to add a little as you go. You want to try blending it first and seeing what happens. So you don't want so much liquid that it's a liquid consistency, but you also don't want too little because you want it to actually blend and give you a nice creamy consistency. So then I'm going to plug it in. And then as I see, it's not blending as well now, so I'm just going to shake it down and add a little bit more of the soy milk to it. I got the vanilla one for that extra vanilla flavor. Whatever food processor you have, Ninja, Magic Bullet, it'll work just fine. Nice and blended just like that. So you could make the entire batch. I'm only going to make a little bit today for the video, and then you can pour it in a container like this. And then put it right here with your plate. And now you've got a really pretty red, white, and blue fruit platter with also a vanilla cashew dip that is full of healthy fats as well as a little bit of protein and half the sugar that a normal fruit dip would have. So I'm going to go ahead and set this to the side. And now we're going to move over to something that's going to be a little bit more savory. We're also going to use this again in a second. So this is really just assembly. No cooking, no spices, no anything required. I just saw this on Pinterest. I thought it was really cute. And so what they did was they made little skewers. Red, white, and blue. Like I said, we're sticking with the red, white, and blue theme for 4th of July. And it's going to be feta watermelon topped with a berry. So you're going to use a toothpick to hold it all together. You want to get your watermelon and cut it into cubes. So I have it already pre-sliced here just for time. So I'm going to cut it so it's in little squares like this. Let me cut a few more pieces for us. And like I said, these are just fun, quick, easy little finger foods that you can bring to the barbecue that you're going to. You know, healthy food doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be tasteless. So it's a great way just to be festive and get your nutrients in. So after that, I'm going to go ahead and cut some pieces of feta. So you don't want to get the crumbled feta, you want to get the whole block. That way you can cut it into the little squares that you need. And I'm going to grab my toothpick. Hopefully they don't fly everywhere. Get my blackberry, and literally I'm just going to make a little table like this. Just like that. So now I'm going to quickly do the rest of these. So this is another super simple one. You saw it took just a few minutes. This doesn't require any blending. It doesn't require putting anything to, to cook. You don't have to soak anything overnight. And surprisingly, I know some of you might be thinking like, oh my gosh, feta and watermelon, but it's really good. In fact, feta, watermelon, and mint is really good as well. Just the green doesn't match the red, white, and blue theme here today. So just a few more. Last one. And then here we go. You've got a nice thing that you can bring, nice festive red, white, and blue. So we're going to go ahead and set that to the side, and we are going to come to our very last attempt at a patriotic dish today. So trifle is generally made with custard. It's generally made with angel food cake, fruit, whipped cream, and it's absolutely delicious. And some people, for whatever reason, need things that are dairy-free, or maybe you're trying to watch your added sugar intake. So this is just a way to kind of add on to that. So we're gonna do a couple swaps. Now keep in mind, these healthy swaps, just don't taste the real trifle next to this trifle and everything will be great. So instead of angel food cake, we're gonna be using granola. Instead of traditional custard, which generally uses heavy whipping cream, I actually made some custard out of tofu, believe it or not. And I'm actually going to show you really quick the ingredients that go in for the tofu custard. You do have to cook it over a pot, so that's something to keep in mind. So what you do for the tofu custard is, where's my spoon? And I will empty this out so I can make the beginning parts in here for you. So I'm going to start with silken tofu. So this is the soft kind. It's kind of like jiggly, looks interesting. So you want to start with the tofu. Then I'm going to add, it sounds strange, but just a dab of nutritional yeast. Not too much though, because you don't want a cheesy flavor. Then I'm going to use just a little bit of cornstarch. That's going to help it give that custard-like consistency. Then I'm also going to squeeze a little bit more of lemon in there. Whatever sweetener you want to use. We use dates. You can use honey, whatever it is that you want to use. And then after that, just a little bit of whatever milk you want to use. Once again, I've been using soy milk. So you're going to blend this up, and then you're going to heat it over the stove. And you want to make sure you're whisking it frequently so it doesn't get lumpy. So what will happen after about 6 minutes is you'll get this custard like consistency right here. So then all I'm going to do is layer it similar to how I would a lasagna. So normally it comes in a really pretty glass bowl. This is the only see-through thing I had so you guys can see the pretty layers. So I'm just going to put a small layer in the bottom of my custard. And then I'm going to layer it with some of my granola. And now I'm going to add some of my berries. So I have blackberries here today, as well as some raspberries. These are my favorite, especially when they're in season. And they're on sale right now at the store. Like I said, it's summer, so berries are in season. Slice up a few strawberries. Use a little bit more of our blueberries. And the bigger dish that you have, the more layers that you can do. So this will probably only be like 2 layers. Like that. And then I'm going to repeat the process all over again. Top with my custard. And if you have Cool Whip or whipped cream, whatever you want to use, you can use. And then I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit more of the berries and the granola. And then you're going to want to top with whipped cream like I mentioned. Let me just throw these last few ones on here. And there you go. So in a matter of 12 minutes, we have made 3 separate dishes. So we have our vegan trifle right here, followed by our, they look like the firecracker popsicles, so feta, watermelon, and blackberry. And then last but not least, we have our really pretty fruit platter right here with your cashew dip. So these are fun things that you can try, healthy recipes, great thing that you don't have to feel bad about snacking on at a 4th of July barbecue. And thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you guys have a super safe holiday. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, share, comment, come visit us at the